Alright, you, how's it going? I've got a load of horseshoes here, and my plan is I'm going to make like a plant pot, like a long rectangle planter. And the idea is I'm probably going to put something like lavender in it, or something along those sort of lines. Now, these are all different types of horseshoes. These particular ones are quite old, but they've still got the nails in them, which is what I want. I want something that's got, I just want to keep authenticity and just something that looks pretty nice. So what I'm going to do is probably going to face them all up. I have obviously the outside of the shoe facing out on the pot like that, and I'm just going to weld them together. Obviously they're different sizes, so I might sort them out and have the front side of the pot that you'll see all the same size, or I might have them all different sizes. I'll probably use these ones for like the side of it, but we'll see how it goes. Done a little bit of rough measuring here. It can't be any longer than 1200mm long, end to end, or 1.2 meters, because where I'm going to slot it in, there's a step there and there's a wall there. So it's got to be in that little gap. So it can't be any wider than that. But it can be, I did a rough measurement at 200mm deep, 200mm wide. So 200mm from the top to the bottom is what I call deep, and 200mm wide there. But that's rough. It can be more, it can be less. It'll just end up being however tall the shoes are, and however wide the shoes are. That's how wide and how tall or deep the actual plant pot will be. So let's have a look, shall we, and see what we can do. So I'm going to leave them dirty. I'm probably going to go over them with a little bit of a wire brush, but I'm going to leave them dirty. But it goes without saying, I'm going to have to clean. Oh dear, that cutting disc's definitely seen better days, isn't it? Jesus Christ, I might have to go and get the key to get it off. It goes without saying, I'm going to have to clean off the bits that I'm going to weld. So I'm just going to get one of these flappy paddle discs, very handy things, use these quite a lot, and I'll just be able to clean off a bit of the rust from where I'm actually going to weld them together. But the rest of it is going to stay as it is. I want it to be as is. You know, sometimes, right, I have to literally stand there and pinch my arm because I'm in a constant shock, constant daze of just shock of how lovely the day is and how brilliant everything is, you know? Do you ever sit there or stand there and think to yourself, my golly gosh, am I happy to be alive today? Hey? I mean, the day outside, absolutely lovely. It's a lovely day. It's been a lovely day. It's been a lovely weekend, you know? And I'm just in a pure state of shock, absolute shock. I'm sitting here. I'll show you what I've done. I've made a start on this plant pot, right? And I had to stop. I had to stop and pinch myself just to make sure that I wasn't dreaming. I know. Unbelievable, eh? Let me show you what I've done so far. It's only a start. Don't judge. It's only a start. I've only been at it for a couple of minutes. It's going to take me a little while yet because I've got to go and... I'll show you. Come and have a look. So this is what I've done so far. I'm going to add one more on the end there, and that'll be the length. I wasn't sure whether to make that the floor and then start welding them on the bottoms, or just have it as a side. I might not put a floor in it yet. I might not put a floor in it. I think what I'm going to do, this will be the front along here. And I know some of them are wonky, but that's how I want it, right? I'm going to put one more on there, and that'll be just below the 1.2 meters that I want, 1200 mil. And then I'm going to stand it up, and I'm probably going to do, I'll tell you what I'm probably going to do. I'm probably just going to do the width of one shoe, like that. That's probably what it's going to be. I was thinking about doing two, so it'd be 1, 2, like that. But I think they'll be a bit wide. I think they'll be too wide. So we're just going to go with the 1, and I think that 1 there will be more than adequate in amount of space for a lavender, or a couple of lavenders to survive. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I may put a floor in. I may put a floor in of shoes if I've got enough, but I think I probably won't, because I'm going to put this, I'll show you where I'm going to put it when I've done it. You'll see I'm going to put it in place, and you'll see it's going to look lovely, right? But I want it so that the roots of the lavender can go into the actual ground. Yeah, I just want, this is just a pot for decoration. Yeah, I want it so that I'm going to put a membrane around it inside so the soil don't come through, because you're probably thinking, you dickhead, all the soil is going to come out through there. No. I've got a couple of ideas. I might get some flat bar, and put it across it, but that will spoil the look then. So I'm probably going to get either a clear or a black membrane. I know you're thinking, well, that's going to be ugly, but I don't care, because that's what I'm going to do. Put that around the edges so the soil doesn't come out through the little walls, and then I'm not going to put nothing at the bottom, and that way the roots can just go into the ground, and I think it'll work out well. Don't judge it until you see it. When you've seen it and then you don't like it, that's fair enough. You can tell me that, I don't care. But don't tell me you don't like it before you've seen it, because that's what kind of person are you? There we go. That's the sort of thing we're looking at. Goes all the way along there like that, and I know it's bowed slightly. I'm not worried about that. Just you watch and you wait and see. It's not going to matter in the slightest whether it's bowed slightly, and it's difficult because they're all different sizes, but that's all right. So that's what it's going to be. I did have a look at doing 2 shoes, 1 shoe 2, make it wider, but I don't think it's going to be necessary. I think a lavender, cut maybe 3 lavenders, because as they grow they're going to go into a bush obviously, and they'll take quite a lot. Maybe 2 lavenders, maybe 3, I don't know, but anyway, lavender's going in it. So in this one anyway, I might do another one of these and put a different plant. Don't know yet. We'll see how this one goes and what I think it looks like once it's in its place. But I reckon the 1 shoe is enough space. Yeah. Don't forget, the roots are going to be able to go down into the ground, into the soil, through there. So they're going to be able to spew out once they get past. It'll be fine anyway. If it isn't, I'll just grind it off, put another one and extend it. Trial and error. I reckon it'll be fine. Coming along very nice. Very happy with that. Some of you are probably wondering, why are you doing it on the floor? Just put it on your bench. If you're normal regular viewers, you know I've got a bench. If you're not, you're probably thinking, have you got a bench? I have got a problem though. The bench is currently taken up by a strimmer that I'm currently repairing. I'm waiting on parts for a neighbour of mine, because I like to repair stuff for free for people, because that's what I like to do. So I'm waiting on some carburetor, a carburetor rebuild kit for this strimmer. I couldn't get it from the local mower shop, so I had to order it online of all places. So I've got to wait for that to turn up. But the other problem is, this is metal, the weld on here, well that is wood. So I won't be welding on that anyway. So the floor is the best option. Thought I'd point that out because I always get questions from new viewers. Hello new viewers, how are you doing? About things. So I thought, let's keep people in the loop as why things are what they are. There's always a reason, my friends. Always a reason. There we go. All more or less tacked together. Here is straight. There's wonky. That's fine. It all adds to perfect character. That's perfectly wide enough. There's some lavender, or even some other little plants. All I've got to do is weld this line together properly, because at the moment it's just tacked and it's quite wobbly. So I'm going to weld them all together. That side is welded, properly. So this one's going to go together now. I'm not going to put a floor in it, we'll leave it like that. Then all I've got to do now is go and get a membrane. And all I'm going to do is, I'm not even going to attach it to the sides, I don't think. I'm just going to, I don't know what I'm going to do with this. Probably just stick it on with some blue tape or something when I've got it in place where I want it to be. Put the soil in it, and the soil then will obviously hold the membrane to the sides. Cut the floor out, and that's that. Job is a good one, my friends. Anyway, I think that's really good. I'm actually really happy with that. Anyway, I'm going to weld all this together properly, and then we'll go and test it in the spot where I want to put it. There it is. Obviously, I've just done all this, so that's yet to grow. The patch of grass is a little bit patchy. I'm letting this grass grow high, but I decided to have a nice little flower bed below that window there. I'm going to redo that fence, don't worry about that. A nice little flower bed there with some lavender growing up below the windowsill. This will be nice grass. Just waiting for it to grow. Look, you see all my seed. Happy days. So all this grass here will be cut short, obviously, so you'll see all the horseshoes with the lavender. I reckon that'll be quite nice. Happy days. Right then, nice one. I'll see you in a bit. It'll probably be a few days for me, but for you it'll be a few seconds. Get a membrane, get some potting and soil, and buy a couple of lavender plants. And hopefully by the time that happens, you'll see it next. Don't worry, don't go nowhere. But that'll be probably a few days, maybe the end of this week. So by the time that happens, that little patch of grass, which is a bit patchy, the seed would have grown and it'll all look nice around it, and you'll be able to see the wonderful creation of plant that Mother Nature has made. I can't wait. I can't wait, my friends. See you in a minute, in a couple of seconds. Well, a few months ago, way back in the summer, I made this out of these horseshoes, as we've just seen. I wanted to finish this video off with a nice picture of it in the corner there, with some nice lavenders growing out of it and other plants growing out of it. But I just never did get round to it, and it just sort of sat there. And now there's a couple of cactuses fallen over, and now, surprisingly enough, the cactuses have survived, so I might try and plant them actually in the ground and see if they survive in the ground. Anyway, this is where we are. I want to get this video out. I'm sick of seeing all the other footage on my computer, so I want to get this video done. So, still there. I haven't put any plants in it, but I might make a couple more of these when the summer comes along again. And yeah, there we go. Very nice. So, any ideas? Let me know. But I quite like making plant pots out of horseshoes. It's great fun. I've made little round ones before. I thought that long one was going to be quite good. I think it still will be quite good when I get plants in it eventually. I'm going to try and plant those two cactuses. I got fed up with them. They were in the conservatory, but I got fed up with them because they got little fine needles and they shed them and they go everywhere. And I kept getting them in my skin. Oh man, I thought, I've had enough of you, so I threw them out the window, and that's where they landed. And they've been there now for probably about 2 months, and they're still alive, even though they're not in any soil apart from the soil which around the bottom of them. So I think, and don't forget, we're nearly in December now, and they're still alive, so that's good. So I'm going to plant them in the ground in that long trough that I made, and see if they survive. If they want to be an outside cactus and live all year round, happy days. I'll leave them in the garden. Anyway, I'll see you lot on the next one. Take care, love life, treat people nicely, don't be an idiot. Yeah, and we should all have a nice, happy life. And I'll see you on the next one. Don't know what it's going to be. Maybe, could be anything. Who knows? I don't even know what's going on in my own head, let alone anyone else's head. I mean, I wake up in the morning, and all of a sudden, this little person goes, "Hello there."
what shall we do today? And I say, I don't know. What shall we do today? And he goes, I don't know. Let's find something to do. And then I don't know what the day's going to bring. So I'll see you later on.